What's up, guys? I'm here to give you this intro on this upcoming video. I'm addressing the p0420 and the p0430, and in this video we have two catalytic converters. They're both throwing the same code, but for separate reasons, and I'm gonna show you what I find and what we did to fix it. Unfortunately, on bank 2 we need a catalytic converter. Giving you the heads up, a little spoiler. Customer didn't want to go ahead and fix it, replace it. It's expensive, so we're gonna try the spark plug follow trick and see if this actually works. I've never done this. I've seen this on YouTube. I've seen this a lot. I read it on forums, and people claim to have success rate out of this world with it. Everybody claims that it works, so I want to try it myself. I want to see if this works, and we're gonna go ahead and put that theory to the test. So stay tuned. Follow me on this journey with this lacrosse. The Buick. I can never remember the lacrosse, Buick lacrosse. If you remember, I made a video on suspension work. It's got the sport suspension. We ended up finding an open in the harness. The connector in the back was being submerged in water, and I had a bunch of corrosion. Cleaning that up, and the open was on the passenger side, but that's a whole totally different video. We got to the bottom of it, we fixed it, and I'm very grateful, I'm blessed, to continue to have work. So at the moment, he didn't want to address this code for the catalytic converter, and he gave me the green light. So I'm going to show you guys my troubleshooting methods, what I'm going to test, and it's not perfect. A lot of times, like that electrical issue, it kicked my ass, but I got to the bottom of it, and I always do. So I'm just gonna show you guys the process. I hope you learned something. We're gonna test, we're gonna figure out what's going on. We're gonna take some temperature readings and see if it's overheating, if it's restricted, and we're gonna fix this. So follow me on this journey, and hope this helps. So we're gonna start it. Listen for an exhaust leak. I believe we have one. Right, not good enough. I was hoping. Oh, I hear it. I do hear it. So, all right. Catalyst below threshold efficiency. And first thing you do is listen for an exhaust leak, because if you have an exhaust leak, your O2 is not going to get an accurate reading. Fix that first. All right, and just to make sure, I'm going to pull the O2 live data reading, make sure we're getting one, but I'm sure we are. I think it'll be a different code if there wasn't open to it or stuck on it. If it's reading accurately, all right, make sure though. But if it's reading accurately, then the computer will set the below threshold code, because it's using the data off of the O2 to make that call. And it's got to be fluctuating, just not the way it wants it to. Now, again, still check it, but fix your exhaust leak. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna jack this car up. Not gonna run it too long, because I won't be messing with the exhaust. I'm gonna find this exhaust leak, and once I do, I'll go back to the data and see what bank it is and verify that, and go from there. Be safe, guys. That looks good. That looks good too. I can hear it. So remove your oil cap and pop the cover off. Really don't have to. I want to make room just in case I got to reach back there. And I'm hoping that we have our leak here. All right, let me go get my mats, because I will be sticking my hand back there around that flange at the bottom. Make sure that it's not leaking from there. Feel for it around here. Don't think I have to remove this cover to do so, but if I don't feel any air coming out of there, down there, I'll be able to hear it. Might be a crack on the manifold. It happens. Goddamn. The fan cuts on. So I'm going to unplug it. Blowing hella hard. Ah, woo! That's hot. God damn it. Alright. Unplug the fans. God damn. What's up? All right, I found it. Let me show you guys. See that hole? That's a hole, ladies and gentlemen. Now, oh buddy, look at that. That is an entire section. Well, I don't know, man. It's a flex pipe. I'm gonna have to think outside the box. I doubt he's gonna want to replace that entire section. Spend the money on it. But let me go ahead and figure out what we're gonna do. That is your catalyst below threshold code right there. All right, so let's finish this one up. Let me show you what I did. I went and got the JB putty, and I mixed it real well. Made sure that it got into the groove where the hole was and all the other, and just flattened it, patted it down. This here tape is just to secure it. You're supposed to run the vehicle for 20 minutes, and it should, you know, stick to itself. The adhesive will get nice and gooey and it'll stick. But this is a fix. This might need a periodic touch-up in case the JB weld gets brittle and you know, deteriorates. There's nothing to remove this. Chip away the old JB weld and install some new. It beats repairing the whole cat back. Saves you money. And now let's go ahead and run this scan. Delete the catalyst code and rescan it, and I bet you that the issue has gone away. Well, we just plugged up the exhaust in this one, and I don't know if you saw the other video on the electrical issues I was having with the sport suspension, but it rained the other day and here we are, all soaked and wet. I'm glad I put that rag on there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zip tie this. Okay, hopefully that drip isn't gonna fall on the connector itself. That would be so fucked up. But I don't think that's where it's coming from. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead, zip tie this up here, put a panel on, and keep this sucker from getting wet. And let's put this back together. That's a fix, ladies and gents. Subscribe, like, support. Here's my setup. Okay, I zip tied those two clips to one another. I don't want to set them down where they belong. The clip gets wet, but that's gonna fix that right there. Take my rag back. And still waiting, still gotta connect to that. I'm multitasking out here. Run a code, delete it. Run a scan. Okay. Here's the end result. Everything put back together. Okay. And you
could tell a lot of moisture gets in here, but that connector will no longer be submerged in water. Now let's see if we fixed our exhaust issue. All right, just display. Just show me the goddamn codes. Catalyst system efficiency bank 1, bank 2 as well. But as you guys saw, this exhaust system goes 2 to 1. Now, does it go back out to 2? Yes, it does. So this will affect both banks. So let's go ahead and erase these codes. No codes detected. All right. Now as we back up, it's gonna run its own check. And 1 came back. And I believe that's the one that has nothing to do with the exhaust system. AC refrigerant pressure sensor circuit low voltage most likely needs a charge up, a fill up. If the AC still works, then I mean the leak has to be like super minor. The systems aren't 100% seal proof. You lose some every year. There's a chart for this. So you know, even if everything's fine, it's just never been serviced before and it could just be low. I will replace the Schrader valves and take care of that. But now, like I said, lost communication with BCM. That was me when I was removing the front seat. I was doing some work. So let's quick erase everything, see what comes back. That's a fix, guys. The BCM has 4 codes. I am doing this as a courtesy. I always want to know. Yes, the daytime running lamps. Okay, if you're seeing this, you want to address it one day, you let me know. But I know that's no biggie. Look at that, no problems. All right, we could take care of this up here, no issue, super easy. Then we'll have 0 issues with this car. That's a fix, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so let's run it just for shits and giggles. We know what that fault is. That's it. That's a fix, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. So that's not a fix. I drove the car. I like to keep the car for an extra day and drive it, and you know, test it out. Make sure before I give it to the customer that, you know, on his way home or the next day he's not gonna get, you know, the code back. So I kept it, and I fixed that leak on the bank 1, right? And what I got back is below efficiency threshold, p0430. That's bank 2. I got that code to come back. So I got under the car. I checked for, you know, more holes in the exhaust or maybe at the flange, but we have no exhaust leaks. So now I'm starting to suspect that cat is bad, or we have a bad O2 sensor. I mean, I'm getting a response out of the O2 sensor. Maybe it's not quick enough, you know? So, but here's what I'm gonna do. I chewed up a drill bit doing this. The 1/2 inch got chewed up, but it serves me right for buying one from Walmart. I went to Lowe's and got me a platinum drill bit and then chew this thing up real good. So, you know, you start off with small drill bits, enough to widen this bottom here, and then work your way up. Be patient and get it right. So what I do is, you know, you put the O2 sensor in here. You drill this so that it'll clear it first of all, right? Boom. And then once this is on the O2 sensor, you install this one. And what this is supposed to do is lessen the gas that go through it, you know, so it won't detect all the gases in the cat, you know, and throw that code. So we're basically tricking the computer. I don't know if this is going to work. The next thing I would recommend is replacing the O2 sensor, but I think that's not going to work. But it's possible that the one that's on there now, it's reading slowly, and it's not switching back and forth as quick as it should. But that, like I said, that's a small probability, and I believe that the catalytic converter is the culprit, you know. But this right here is supposed to work. If your cat's no good, this is supposed to trick the computer and
you know, get that code to not pop back up. Let's get it. Let's see what happens. All right, get your O2 sockets. Crawl your ass under that car. I crawled in from the driver's side. Unplug your connector. Remove your O2. I'm gonna clean this O2 with some brake cleaner. Know my Camaro through that code. I cleaned it up because it was brand new fucking sensor right out of the damn dealership, brand new car. And not too long after, it threw that fucking code. So it goes to show you, you know, these cars start giving you problems from the day you fucking drive off with it. But get that out, clean it up, install the bungee, whatever you call that, the adapter, and run the car. See if that fixed it. All right, so once you get this out of there, go ahead and clean it. Don't think that'll do much, but I'm gonna clean it up, let it dry. Yep. Okay, let's keep going. Now, it doesn't go all the way down flush. So the design where the holes are on the O2 sensor are like right in that flat area. I drive it in and the outside bottoms out, but that is going to make a seal. So this is still going to work, and the little holes are exposed. They're not being covered. So this will work. Just so happens that my O2 sensor is a little bulky, but you know, make sure that it's nice and tight. Don't crush it, but I got it nice and tight on there where it's gonna create a seal right there. And then this one on here, I held this one, tighten it up. You don't want to over tighten this piece onto the sensor, right? Because you'll crush the O2 sensor. So let's see. Now, the concern is, will it fit? I believe it'll clear it. So, but you know, before you go ahead and take on this project, just take a look and see if it'll clear it, because you know you're adding, you know, some length to it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. All right, tighten this down. All right, when you tighten it down, use the first one. All right, so that's on there. I'm gonna plug it back up. All right, I got it on there. I'm gonna go get a zip tie to secure that connector, make sure it doesn't come off. It sits by the exhaust. This one was very brittle. Clip fell apart. But after this, I'm going to run the vehicle, drive it, and man, guys, I hope this fixes it. If not, I believe we need a catalytic converter. Right, it's installed. Everything is good to go. I have to run and do another job, but I will test drive the car. I'll show you guys that. And you know, it didn't take much to get that code to come back. So I won't make this video like stupid long. I will test drive, and then if I feel that it's a fix, I will show you. If it comes back, I will also show you. You know, like I said, a lot of times, well, here's the deal, you know, not everybody's always ready to fix what they have wrong with their car. You know, it's expensive, and I understand that. So I look for, you know, a temporary fix, or I try to help out. And that's the route that, you know, some people choose to go. But if this doesn't fix it, then it needs a cat, you know. possibly a O2. Let's see. Okay, so I'm running a scan as I test drive the vehicle. So far, we have nothing. This is a 15-minute drive, 15-minute back. That's more than enough. That's long enough. If there's a problem, it'll throw a code. So let's see. Let me add that I love this car, the lacrosse. This edition, at least, with the sport suspension and everything. It's such a smooth ride. And if, you know, when the engine's running 100%, it's so smooth. It has power. The engagement in between gears, like you barely feel it. Kind of want one now. It's too soon to celebrate, but I can't help but feel excited. But it's too soon. So I'm back at the house, 30-minute drive, no check engine light on. Trying to make these very short. We're gonna do this drive again. All right, so the code has not came back. And I've been driving this car all morning. I got the green light from the customer. I don't just take customers' cars. Even for a test drive, I ask them. But I've been driving this all morning. And the reason why is because, you know, that's a trick. And at any point, it could get a good whiff of all the gases in there and the code could come back. But then what you do is if you're trying to avoid the repair and not replace the catalytic converter, you can clear it and it'll trick the computer for a while. Maybe this will trick the computer forever, who knows, you know. But I'm gonna go ahead and send my little girl some gifts just because. And I'm gonna go ahead and drive out there. It's not far, go to the post office. And with my luck, it'll pop up as soon as I pull in, right before I call it a fix. But if everything goes well, that's a fix. Well, on my second trip back to the house. So I've driven the vehicle for a total of 30 minutes, shut it down in between. It was 15 minutes there, I shut it down for like maybe 30 minutes. And then restarted it, and here I am. So far so good. I gotta head back, so I will take another 30-minute drive with it. And if no lights today, if I don't get the check engine light, I know it's a fix. And I feel confident enough to call it a fix and return this car to the customer. So I'm back at the house, 30-minute drive, no check engine light on. Trying to make these very short. We're gonna do this drive again. As you can see, it's getting dark. Must bust my eyes. All right, here's the update, guys. The code came back. So now I know for sure that this trick does not work. It needs a catalytic converter. Customer is not prepared to do it. So this was a good attempt to try to get that code to stay away. We did fix the problem in bank 1. There was no problem with that cat. There was no problem with that sensor. It was a gas leak. We patched that up. And then we got the p0430 and no leaks in the system. The O2 sensor was switching. It's functioning like it should. And it was either this trick was going to work or it was going to fail. And the trick failed. So sucks that I put time into it. He knew. We discussed that, you know, it was hit or miss. I've never done this before. I've always fixed the vehicle, you know, the proper way. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about this. I've even read it in forums, and but I've never done it myself. Maybe it does work on some vehicles, you know. Who's to know? But I thought that it was worth a try, and you know, I'm not too happy with the results, but that's it. This car's gone. A lot of electrical issues with the suspension, open harness, a puddle that builds up in the back of the trunk on the corner where this main connector goes, which I think is a stupid place to put it. So I fixed that, and it was all gravy. So till next time, guys, thanks for watching.